So we have another question around apartments, but a completely different angle here from Zach. He said he's currently renting a two-bedroom in Surrey Hills, Sydney, and wanting to make the next move in property. Been hearing quite a lot lately about people moving or upgrading their current living situation for lifestyle reasons and wondering what our views are on the so-called lifestyle compounds. Examples that spring to mind is Wandakaya, I think that's how you pronounce it, in Lower North Shore, Balmain Shores, I know that very well, and Abbotsford Cove in the inner west, and there's even entire suburbs turned into medium density lifestyle compounds. Although many units in these compounds are still cookie cutter apartments, my understanding is that some have distinct scarce features you often talk about, such as unique floor plans, views, access to excellent amenities, etc. Would we consider these to be investment grade? Well, what do you think about that one, Chris?
I don't like them. You may have a scarce one in there. You may have the top floor with the northerly views. I just think that unless that apartment block is really super aspirational, it's got some type of really lifestyle benefit that you get living in that apartment block over other apartment blocks. And the demographics within that apartment block is definitely suiting a lot of families, and it's got some really wow factor about it. But even still, you've got a lot of apartments. Sometimes they've got massive piece of land as well. So if you cut up the land in between those apartments, it's still a fair chunk of land per apartment. But if I had to compare that versus a 6 block of units on a quiet street, and you getting the best one in those 6 block of units versus these big lifestyle compounds, I would absolutely go the older stock any day of the week. I just think you've got too many apartments, too many supply, always other people selling in the apartment complex. And I think you'll get dragged down because a lot of buyers will be looking at it and going, well, if that one sold for $980, why would I pay 1.4 for yours? Because it's still a 3-bed and it's still in the same compound. And so I think you just don't get that scarcity in terms of the sale. Whereas if you've got a block of 6, there might only be 2 or 3 other apartments in the whole area that compete with you, and you've got the best apartment, and sky's the limit, really. You can suck up all the demand. And so there's lots of reasons. Sometimes you get big body corporate as well. I'd be watching out for that. Like, what is the cost for all those services in these compounds? The gardens, there's concierge, the pool, the tennis court, blah, blah, blah. So just watch out for the body corporate. And definitely you want to be, any of these type of new builds, I'd be wanting to look at that strata report and just be super careful that there's no special levies, etc. With these buildings.
I think one of the things around these lifestyle compounds, these sort of resort-style complexes, is that time will tell. And Chris is talking about in some of these bigger buildings, there's always something for sale. And, and so the difference is tightly held properties versus, or buildings and complexes versus those where there's always something for sale. And so that is something, as I said, time will tell.